ServerSave, it's not just coming into, buying gigabytes or buying server licenses. Our program is geared to get you up and running in the market as quickly as possible. And one quick question that I'm going to answer, what other languages do you support? We only support English. So features and benefits. So starting on the left, or of course the top left, Exchange Backup and Granular Recovery. So again, an agent that will allow you to recover at the message level, as well as just migrate an entire Exchange server. Bare Metal Image Creator and Image Stream. This allows you to create images from whatever system volume you like on a Windows machine. You can point it to some other place. Usually it's to a staging machine, just a Windows 7 box, enough RAM and hard drive space to account for all the data you're sending it. And then you would have Image Stream, which is specifically designed for large file backup online. So Image Stream would be installed and you go off-site with it, and we'll show you a little more detail about that. The Pulse Centralized Management Agent. So this is an agent where you install it alongside each backup. It's going to give you 3 different layers of monitoring control. The first is simple event monitoring. So a backup ran with errors, a backup did not run, or failed to run rather. A policy applied, policy partially applied, policy failed to apply. Then it gives you more backup session details, which is the second layer. How many files did or did not back up? Which files were they? And then it gives you an excerpt of the backup log. Then the third is control over the policies. So a policy is a schedule and a backup set, and you can apply a policy to a specific deployment, which means where you've installed the backup. So that's the Pulse system. So that's nice to have that. Online backup and recovery, we have this as a separate kind of an endpoint backup strategy. So in part of the branding, we have a file and folder program that is more heavily branded than the Image Creator, Image Stream, and Exchange Backup and Granular Recovery agents, because this would be something that you would install on workstations and laptops. This would allow you to protect your business users. For the most part, it's still recorded that about 60% of a business's data resides on individual workstations and laptops, not in some centralized repository. And this is very problematic when it comes to truly providing a backup solution. You can't back up something that you don't have access to. So this allows for a very simple way to install the backup agent on individual machines and back up on a regular basis. The Premier Web Integration Package. This is really kind of the backbone of the partner program and what helps get our partners out to market. It includes, among other things, integrated billing management, so things like integration into PayPal and Authorize.net. So all you have to do is put in your respective credentials, and you're ready to start accepting money for backup accounts being ordered online. So a bit of an e-commerce setup. Also allows for a really powerful mailer, so you can reach additional contacts, new accounts that have signed up. If you have a lead list, you can go ahead and upload a lead list and start doing different campaigns, different mailers. There's also mailer statistics that will help you see the click-throughs, the unsubscribed recipients, bounce backs. So it's a really nice system there. You have complete control over the pricing that you're setting for your customers, so you can change the pricing of each backup plan on the website. And it also includes a bit of a website. So it's some partners like it so much that they actually end up contacting one of our strategic development partners and getting really a much larger website built out from it, and it replaces what they were currently using as a web presence. Or they do it themselves, and it takes the place of their other website. I would say probably 60% of our partners are more in the middle, or they use it as a pseudo product site. So it has some information about this specific set of services, and that's it. And then they still have their main site. So acmetechnologies.com versus acmeonlinebackup.com. And then we have probably the smallest group of partners where you already have web design and web development in progress, or It's substantial, you've done SEO work, and you don't want to get rid of that, so that's fine. And you just use the login and the sign-up pages. Or if you're big enough, you just take our APIs and build out your own integration. So the Premier Web Integration was really just geared towards those of you who do not have internal development resources but would like the benefits of having internal development resources. So that's what we have there for you. And that's just part of the program cost, so that it's really a terrific value there.
We got a couple questions. Tim asked, does SOS backup only Microsoft data? At the moment, yes. Later this year, we do look to support Linux and Mac, but at the moment, only Microsoft. And as partners, you guys would absolutely be notified of that update. And Milko has a question. For our clients from resellers, do they have an admin management page so they can see and control their own backups?
Yeah, there's the My Account system where users can log in and they can see the backup data. They can also run reports to see backup history and machine backup details. Machine backup details would be machine name, total data backed up from that machine, and the date of the last backup from that machine. But there is no control remotely for what the backup set is including or the schedule when it comes to the end user.
And to Mike, we should definitely take this question offline. You can go ahead and email me, and I can try to put you in touch with the right person. We'll type my email address into the chat. Okay, so let's keep it moving here. Again, any questions, please type into the chat. We're more than happy to answer them for you. So this is a competitive grid showing SOS Server Save versus SOS for Business, which is our file and folder business product for unlimited PCs, versus SOS Home, which is our home product for 5 PCs, Carbonite and Mozy. As you can see, and I don't even need to go into detail, SOS Server Save is a much, much more robust product than we have offered in the past and than Carbonite or Mozy's reseller programs offer. So SOS Server Save really is designed to give you the utmost flexibility in terms of what you offer your clients. Even if you purchase SOS Server Save, you can still provision only file and folder backup if you wish to, and save your server license for when you do need to provision that and when you can sell that to the right customer. This competitive grid shows SOS Server Save and SOS Online Backup for Business versus Zenith, Intronis, and the IP65, which is now back to being eVault. SOS Server Save really shows up, again, in the flexibility of the system. We have great mobile access. We do not limit the number of seats you can have per account. You can have up to 5,000 seats. I hope you have clients that big, and I hope you have that many seats to sell. We also offer total protection, automatic and infinite archiving for files and folders, and of course military-grade security. We're really, really proud of our data centers. We encrypt all data locally in transit and at the data center.
Right, and we had historically, I recognize some partners on here today, and again, these were some of the companies we used to recommend, and we have a lot of our partners have with the addition of ServerSafe, have discontinued the relationships with companies like Zenith, i365, and Intronis because they no longer needed a third party to do the image-based backup and then use our system to go off-site. Now it's all wrapped up into ServerSafe. So it really just speaks to the move that we've made and the differentiator in the SMB market when it comes to cloud services is security. So even where Carbonite and Mozy are still very prominent cloud backup services, we've always been boasted as a more serious backup solution for businesses because of the additional attention to security that we have. And you see today with the additions of Dropbox and Box.net and the quote-unquote stealth cloud dilemma, it really speaks to the savviness of the users continuing to increase and now starting to question, okay, well, not only is this now easy and viable from a functionality standpoint, but what about the security behind it? And again, we've been compared against anyone in the market you can think of and have come out on top. HP Upline, HP couldn't hang in the backup game, so they went out, I think, 2008. Norton, Carbonite, Mozy, iDrive, Elephant Drive, all of those. William asks, are you going to do a price comparison for SOS versus the competition as well as the features comp?
Some of that information is available in this presentation and from your representatives. It's something that I'm working on, frankly.
Yeah, and we'll show you that when we get into the demo of, because we're going to go through the back end as well as the software to show you where you can get all this information. Another question from Lasina following up on the use of all language. Again, the product only supports English versions of Windows. If you have I can't remember the set, but basically you get into different characters. We're not going to, if we don't support them, they'll come up as question marks. So Chinese characters, Arabic characters, those types of things. So I believe it's Latin 1, I believe, is a subset of text that we support.
However, we do have a lot of resellers around the world. We have a very large reseller in Thailand who is successfully using the product. Okay.
So just another thing, and again, kind of touching on Will's question, what about the $24 per gig per year, or the pricing and the different services? What we found is that a lot of services, when it comes to backing up servers and image-based systems off-site, $24 per gig per year is fairly competitive. It's fairly common, especially when you get into industry-specific backup strategies. I remember, for those of you working with dental offices, EagleSoft, I believe, is the company name, and they charge upwards of $40 or $50 per gig, and they're not doing anywhere close to what even our old file folder system used to do. Not to mention the addition of ServerSafe. So it really has a tremendous increase in what we're doing. With our base product line, or our base entry price, you basically get into a point where it would be at cost about $80 to $90 per month for a 200 gigabyte cloud backup account and 1 server seat license. Okay, we have some more questions coming through. One question from Matt: do you have a physical hard drive recovery versus downloading via Internet Connect? Yes, we do have what we call a physical media upload service. So we have it both for the initial backup as well as for recovery. For recovery, if you have gone off-site with the image, we can actually have a service where instead of having to ship you a drive, we can just mount the image in our data center from which you can access information while you're rebuilding the server. But yes, we do have services where we will accept you shipping a drive of data to us, or we shipping a drive of data back to you. We also have additional services for even larger customers. We're talking, when you're getting into 5, 10 plus terabytes, you can actually lease hardware in our data center that's specifically to you. That way we can legally just drop ship you drives. It's really go into the data center, pull a drive, and then ship it off to you. For the rest of our services, because of security and how the network's set up, we just use faster pipes to go through the same recovery process, which often will be 10 or 20 times as fast as a lot of our users doing it themselves. Okay, this is another visualization for where we've moved with the addition of ServerSafe. So here's kind of a competitive grid based on types of services and who they're targeted to and who they really serve. And this is where SOS used to live, and that's where we were, it's our flagship product, award-winning. And this is where we've gone. And the big thing to notice here is there's not a whole lot on the left side as far as people you're competing with. It's pretty limited to some of the older hardware-based systems like Acronis and Zenith, which sometimes require $1,000, $2,000 purchase, which is wholesale cost, just to start talking about what type of services you want to get. So we don't have any of that. We're not a hardware company. We never will be. That's it, bottom line. So you can put a black box together as your staging machine rather than pay a couple thousand for what they're going to give you. So I'm going to load up an example or a VM that we have for going through the product. Again, it's always nice to be familiar with our website. We have SOSonlinebackup.com here. So we have good information. So we have the speed test. So if you can look at, how long does it take is really one of the bigger questions that a lot of people will have when it comes to cloud-based backup. And we are tested as the fastest in the market today. You can also go to our support page where we have knowledge-based articles, different videos you can reference. So let me move right along into this VM, and we're going to be launching a Windows 2008 VM running R2. Right, the Server 2008, forgive me. Anyone providing an end-to-end solution today that's less than $80, so the server backup, Exchange granular recovery, file and folder backup. Any thoughts on what you would charge for a service like this? We see that most of our partners that have come on board are charging upwards of anywhere from $150 for very low-end, low-touch customers to $500 per month for this type of service, and still saving their customers a lot of money by moving to it. Does that seem pretty consistent with what you all are looking at? And while those are coming in, the first thing I'm going to go through is just the basic partner dashboard. So the dashboard is going to be the hub for you as a partner to come in. As we see here, it gives us a cloud backup estimate. So right now it shows that, hey, I've provisioned 838 gigabytes of the 500 that SOS has allotted to me. So that means SOS is going to be giving me a ring and making me pay for this additional cloud backup that you have. But we don't have real hard limitations that's going to stop you from creating accounts just because you need to give us some more money. We'll take that up with you. And that's kind of the theme of our partnership with our customers is, we want to enable you to do as much business as you potentially could. And that's also the theme of our service. We don't limit the backup service based on what we hope people